Hello folks and welcome to Bards and Books. I am back. It's been a while, but I'm here with another review. This is for the Five Warrior Angels Trilogy by Brian Lee Durfee. So we got The Forgetting Moon, The Blackest Heart, and The Lonesome Crown. What an absolutely epic, dark, brutal fantasy series. In a good way, for me at least. I enjoyed the heck out of this. Each book, they are all big chonkers. Each book longer than the last. I think we got 700-something pages here, 900-something pages here for The Blackest Heart. And then, although it looks thinner, this is well over 1,000 pages, The Lonesome Crown. And I enjoyed each book more than the last. Durfee does an amazing job crafting out this world. As you can see, we got 5 isles here, very beautiful map. And there are many different cultures, many different races of creatures. We got humans, we got the valet, which are kind of your elf-like beings. We got dwarves, we got ogles, which are kind of like big orcs. Let me just say that this is an absolutely epic fantasy series, but it is very dark themes, very dark subject matter. Tons of violence involving children. You know, we got all the main characters here. We got multiple POVs. They all go through severe trauma in their own way, in their own circumstances or scenarios. And right off the bat, I'll say this is not a series for the faint of heart. There we go. If you're going into this, just know a lot of brutality awaits. Nonetheless, Durfee has crafted something very special here. It's very, very unique. I can't really liken it to anything else I've ever read. It really stands on its own. He has a writing style that's very easy to follow. It does get very descriptive, the writing. We get some travel scenes, which may be tedious to some people, but in regards to the writing style, you could call that a criticism that I have. The only thing is, well, for me personally, if I'm looking at it objectively, it may be a criticism, but subjectively, it worked for me because when you have a big, sprawling, epic fantasy like this, you know, things are bound to go over your head. You might forget some little details here or there, and Durfee does a great job in reminding you when you need it. You know, the names of things, the places, the events, whatever. So it's descriptive in that regard, but it works because by the time you finish a book, you will remember every little detail of this world and this culture and the religion. You know, we get tons of religious doctrine in here. I mean, the beginning of the chapters have those little, what do you call them, epigraphs? I don't know what those are called, but, you know, a little snippet of flavor text, if you will, for religious doctrine in terms of the religion he's crafted here. Speaking about religion, huge theme here. I think one of the biggest, if not the biggest themes in this series is religion. We explore this religion that he's crafted here. We explore how it has divided the realms here, how it motivates people, how it basically runs the world, and many people, particularly people in positions of power, you know, they kind of skew that for their own motivations, their own kind of devious motivations to get ahead or to do something here and that, you know. It's in the name of religion, you know, where have we seen that before? So, somewhat familiar. Like I said, very strong subject matter, but I think Durfee did a great job crafting that. I will say that the descriptive writing style works super well for those climactic moments, the very impactful moments, where we get stuff between characters, a big battle, something of that sort. The descriptive writing style really punches it in you and brings out that emotion. So let me put it this way. After I watched the Game of Thrones show, which was several years ago, I did not think I'd be able to find something that hit me as hard as some of those moments from the Game of Thrones show. They really left a lasting impression, and I just didn't think I'd be able to find anything like that since then. However, in this series, it happened again. It happened again. We had some of those moments where my heart just stopped. You kind of can't believe what you're reading for a second. You can't believe what's happening to a certain character or a certain event is taking place. So I have to give props to Brian Lee Durfee for allowing me to experience something like that again. Even though it can be anxiety-inducing or not the most happiest of emotions, it's something that I appreciate when a writer can get out of me, that sort of thing. So getting to one of those aspects that made it very enjoyable, the battle scenes. We have a couple battles, well, 2 battles in this series of note, which I think were done so uniquely. I have never come across battle scenes written the way that Durfee writes his battle scenes. Because first of all, they are done in such a unique way, like the landscape, the way the armies clash, the circumstances for where they are, what's happening concurrently, all these different creatures and races playing a part in the world. The battle scenes are very unique, is what I'm trying to say. And they hit hard. They hit hard. When Durfee's right, this is a hard-hitting, heavy metal fantasy series. Durfee does a great job incorporating the chaos of battle, just blood and gore and weapons and shouting and just things everywhere. People losing their sense of direction, Before I get to the best thing that Brian Lee Durfee does in terms of his writing this series, I will go over a little bit of criticisms I had because, like I said, this is not perfect and I don't want this to just be a gush fest of a review. So, like I said, the repetitive writing style may irk some people. If you have a great memory and you don't need those hints now and then, this may become a little tedious. But for the most part, like I said, didn't find it at all annoying. It was a nice reminder here and there to fully immerse myself in this world. The grammatical errors are noticeable. I used to be a lot more strict in that regard, where, if I notice some grammatical errors here and there, I might be a little more critical of what I'm reading, but I've lessened in that regard since then. But in a couple of the books here, the grammatical errors, you cannot overlook them. You can't overlook them. So maybe a bit more proofreading was in order, but it's not like it makes you lost or anything. It's just annoying to see here and there, more so than I think anything else I've read. So just a minor thing to be prepared for, but that's really it. And let me get to the thing that Brian Lee Durfee does in this series, which is going to be a draw for so many, and is something you don't really see a lot of in fantasy, well, in anything really. It's uniquely Brian Lee Durfee from what I've experienced so far, and that is misdirection. So, like I said, we have a huge cast of characters. Is very much a coming of age for many of these characters, or finding their purpose, with the religious aspects involved. There are doctrines, and there's prophecy is a big thing. So you're kind of wondering what's going to become of these characters, and you get hints here and there. You kind of see things progressing, but all throughout, Durfee will guide you. He'll set you on a path, and then immediately that path is a dead end, or something shifts, and it makes you question everything that you've been reading so far. So there is no clear path in terms of, while you're reading, where you think things are going. You might be 100% set on where you think something is going, and then Durfee will just pull the rug out from under you and leave you questioning everything. And I mean everything. So masterfully done in that regard. You won't want to put these books down until you're done the entire series, because as soon as you think something's going to happen, something else happens. Or, you get moments where you couldn't imagine that happening, and Durfee just punches you in the gut. I could see him laughing maniacally as you try to read this and piece things together, and and he just goes, nope. And until you get to the last page of the final book, you're still going to have questions. 3/4 into the final book, and I still had no idea how everything was going to wrap up. So that's just to give you a taste. If you like that kind of thing, which I'm sure a lot of people do, you're going to love this series. If you can handle the brutality of it, look forward to that misdirection, that questioning everything. You can try to piece things together, you can try to have theories, but, you know, I swear, things will not end up the way you think they will. So that's my review for the Five Warrior Angels. I really enjoyed my time with it. This was a buddy read. I haven't mentioned it yet, but this was a buddy read that I did with Josh from Red Fury Books and John from Talking Story. So we had a great time. We do have a few live chats on Josh's channel at Red Fury Books if you want to check those out. We have a live chat that we discussed each separate book. So we have one for The Forgetting Moon, we have one for The Blackest Heart, and we will have one coming up in early April for The Lonesome Crown. If you want to check that out, stay tuned for that. I will link Josh's channel below so you can check that out. And yeah, this was an epic, dark, brutal, crazy ride of a series, and it will just grip you till the very end. So that's it for my review. Thank you for checking out this video. If you liked it, you can hit like and subscribe to the channel. It helps out a lot. Leave a comment below if you have read this series, what your thoughts are, if you agree with my take on it, your favorite aspects of it. And in light of recent events, I will mention that if you don't know, Brian Lee Durfee has gone through some pretty harrowing events within the past few weeks. He's been in the hospital for complications, but he is doing much better now, recovering. I will have the link to his GoFundMe page below, so if you want to support him, you can check him out there, send him your love. But that's going to do it for me today. Thank you everyone again, and I'll see you next time.